Tonight, nothing special will happen, and that's exactly the point. There are no heroes here, no monsters, no danger hiding behind the doors, only silence and slow, gentle breaths. Somewhere far away, a small village is falling asleep. The windows are dim, the streets are empty, and the lamps glow softly, as if they too are tired of shining. You can almost hear the sound of nothing, the soft hum of air resting against old stone walls, the whisper of curtains moving just a little in the night breeze, the tiny, patient tick of a clock that doesn't seem to care what time it is anymore. Here, everything happens slowly. Even time seems to pause. Take a yawn and sit down for a while. So close your eyes now. Let the quiet streets of Meadowmere drift closer. Let the stillness spread through your chest. The world is calm, the air is soft, and your thoughts are getting heavier and heavier. Nothing is waiting. Nothing is urgent. Everything is still. Now, let the story begin. At number 7, Finch Lane, lived Harold Finn, a man of perfect average height with an equally average mustache. He owned 4 teapots, 5 chairs, and exactly 6 pairs of socks. Each evening, Harold took a walk that began the moment the church bell rang 7 times. He would close his door softly, step into the cool air, and follow the same gravel path past Mrs. Puddleby's bakery. She always said, "Evening, Mr. Finn," and he always answered, "Evening, Mrs. Puddleby." It had been that way for 23 years. Down by the mill pond, Harold counted the ducks. 12. Always 12. If one was missing, he'd wait for its reflection to appear before continuing home, satisfied. In the morning, Meadowmere had a market square that wasn't quite square. Vendors set up their tables with calm precision. Apples, pears, and at the far end, one stall that sold only spoons. No one ever asked why. Mr. Trumbly simply polished each spoon until it could see itself. Children walked to school 2 at a time, their shoes whispering. Their teacher, Miss Marla, greeted them with a warm nod and dusted the chalkboard 3 times before every lesson. Outside, the sky remained politely blue, and the clouds drifted as if they had memorized their route. At 11 o'clock sharp, everyone stopped for tea. It wasn't a rule. It was simply what life decided to do. Mrs. Puddleby used her cracked cup. Harold chose his chipped teapot reserved for Thursdays. The tea steamed softly. Nobody spoke loudly. A spoon's clink against porcelain was considered music enough. After tea, there was little to do. Mr. Blinken rode his bicycle 4 times around the market to make sure the world was still round. Miss Marla watered her flowers, 1 cup each. Harold Finn dusted his stone collection, each one labeled carefully. Sometimes at sunset, a fine drizzle arrived. Not quite rain, but enough to make the air smell thoughtful. People would pause, nod, and murmur, "Good for the soil." Yes, indeed. Then they'd light small lamps that glowed like sleepy eyes. The drizzle always stopped at the right moment, never overstaying. The crickets began their gentle rhythm. Chirp, pause, chirp, chirp, the same every night. Once, a traveler came to Meadowmere, a quiet man with a suitcase full of identical socks. He stayed at the inn, which had 2 rooms and a cat. "How long will you stay?" asked the innkeeper. "Just long enough," replied the man. "That's how long most people stay," the innkeeper said. The traveler wandered, waiting for adventure. None came. He left quietly. Only the cat noticed, blinking twice, as if to say goodbye. At night, the stars appeared in their usual positions. They never sparkled too brightly, just enough to remind everyone they were still there. The moon rose the same way it always did, careful not to startle the rooftops. People yawned in unison. Doors clicked shut. Curtains settled. Inside, Harold Finn placed his stones back in their boxes. He straightened the label on River Stone number 3, which had leaned a little to the left. Then, he turned off the lamp, climbed into bed, and pulled the blanket up to his chin. He whispered to the ceiling, "Another good day of nothing." The ceiling, being agreeable, said nothing back. The clock ticked softly through the small hours. The crickets slowed their song. Somewhere, a teapot cooled beside the sink. Everything in Meadowmere rested exactly as it should. Quietly, calmly, beautifully boring. And as you listen, your own breath begins to match that rhythm. Slow, steady, gentle. You feel the same stillness that Harold Finn felt when he closed his eyes. A stillness that doesn't demand, doesn't hurry, doesn't try. Because in Meadowmere, nothing much happens. And that truly is enough.